So I've done the outside cover, and now we're going to start making the first signature. So I've got here an advertisement which came through the door and a piece of scrapbook and paper, both A4 size, so we'll trim them down later. I've now got to fix them together, but instead of actually putting one on top of the other, I decided to add an extra piece of paper. This gives it a little bit of thickness, and hopefully it will allow it to bend easier over time, because I'm going to put something front and back, just give it a bit more strength. So I'm using a book page. I've just torn it using the ruler rather than get my scissors out, because I'm not very good at straight cutting. So I'd have to get the guillotine out or my slicing machine. Again, I'm not going to measure. I'm just using the book page to roughly work out where the glue's got to go, and I just literally pop the glue all the way down. It's just a basic PVA glue, so you can use any glue you want really. PVA I tend to find works really well. That's obviously a very good price point as well for everyone. Now we just pop the glue on and put the book page in its place. This will just give it some strength, like I said, hold it tidy. Another reason I don't want to get the guillotine and everything out is because my desk is an absolute tip at the moment. I have so many things on there, it's crazy. But it's all good. It's all crafting stuff, so it's all good. I'm just going to fold it in half and start to work the seam. Works the centre a little bit. And now I've got to find something to put on the back as well. So I've got that little piece, but do I want to put something else with it, or am I going to use another book page? I haven't made my mind up at this point. As you see, I have got quite a lot of bits of paper here. We've got an old invoice, we've got some tea stained papers, music sheets, envelopes. That's pattern, sewing pattern. I don't really sew anymore, not clothing anyway. That's a cover from a paper pack I think I had, which I tea stained, and that one in my hand is avocado stained paper. I did it great the first time. For some reason I've been struggling to do it again, the avocado staining, so I shall keep going at it though. I will do some more. I've opted for a book page again. I haven't got any more tea stain book pages, so obviously it's just come out of a fresh book, so the colour's going to be a little bit off, but you won't see too much of it, not once I've finished decorating the actual journal itself and once it's sewn in and everything. So I'll make sure I cover it up when I actually come to decorating the journal. Again, just fold it in place. I'm just using a plastic bone folder just to make sure that crease is nice and tidy. The piece I've got underneath there is greaseproof paper, and I've stuck on just some pieces with it, little A5 sheets with it. The outside there is a tea stain paper, and you can see there's a few various shapes and colours, styles of paper. That's the greaseproof paper with a pocket on top. I did glue it down, but it didn't really stick, so I'm going to stick it down with some tape. I'll try not to use tape in my journals, because one of the people I follow, whose name totally escapes me, I will pop it in my description below, has actually shown journals she's had for quite a long time, and the tape has actually seeped through the glue from the tape. So we've got our tea stain sheets there. And this is just an old envelope, or two envelopes I've stuck together, just using a bit of washi tape. One I've turned into a side pocket, and the other one's a top pocket. I just want to cover over the writing that's on there. Just me making notes from probably the hospital appointments I had a while back. I don't really want that stuck on there all the time, so just scrap it of book page, pop it over. Good old PVA. Now that little window, I do want to put something in there. I might put a bookmark or something. But I want to do it so you can actually see the picture in there. So when it goes in, keeps the picture in that window. Again, I've got loads of scribbling notes on there, so I will need to cover it up at some point. Can't remember if I do it now or later. I think I do it now, yeah. Just going to use that scrap of paper. It's off the bottom of an invoice, this is. And just cover over the rest of the writing that's on there. So when someone tells me something, I end up just quickly scribbling it on the first thing I find, and usually an envelope lying around. Just tape it in, using the ruler again just to cut off the top. Being lazy again, couldn't be able to grab my scissors, even though they're about hair's breadth away from me, but there you go. So now I've got 2 pockets, and I've got a bit of a flap there. I'm not quite sure what I want to do with the flap, so I didn't cut it off, so I've left it there. When I actually come around to decorating the journal, we'll see what I feel when I get to it. I want this journal really to be an art journal. I've been learning watercolouring and canvas painting and things like that. It's a mess, but it's all good. You know, I'm having fun with it. So I thought I'd do a journal. I could just pop all sort of bits and bobs and ideas into the journal as well. Now that brown material, that paper is more of a material type paper. It's quite a strange effect, but it's absolutely lovely. Feels beautiful. And we've got a piece of coffee stain paper on the other side there. Just trying to decide how I want to attach these. Oh, that's a little bit long. That's the greaseproof paper just tearing off there. And what I want to actually do with them. Just making sure it's sort of tidy. It makes it easier to judge space and everything. I do like to have different levels of my journals, I found as well. Because my last journal I made, most of it is the same size. I thought this one I wanted to put in different levels because I quite like the look of it. So I've decided to go for a pocket with this one. Just literally a couple of bits of tape, stick it down, nice and simple. And again, I'm using this invoice paper here. It's a blank one, nothing on it. Just to make it as a spine, give it a bit of strength in the middle. Found it was a bit long, so rather than cut it down, I thought I'd just leave it on there. Gives it, again, add a bit of strength. And the same on the back. I suddenly realised a little bit overhang, so it was sticking. So rather than cut it off, I thought I'd just pop on a piece of paper, just decoupage it a little bit, give it a little bit more of a feature on top. Yeah, I quite like the effect. It does give it a little bit, just that little bit extra from the invoice page. And again, because I've done it back and front, it's going to thicken it up a bit. So we've got tea paper, book paper. The red is like a corrugated paper. The next one that's just gone down is like a acetate, but it's got a pattern on it. It's quite difficult to see on here. Bit of glue there, just pulling off that one. That's the back of the greaseproof paper and pattern paper. That pattern paper I actually made myself. It doesn't want to stick on it, it's being awkward. The advert envelope, coffee stain paper. And then we got that material paper there, which I turned into the pocket. I think this is the last page I'm putting in here. So that's the avocado paper, and that's actually, like I say, the back of a 12 by 12, sorry, paper pad that came. Just decided what I want to use for the spine paper in the middle now. This is a piece of card. It's actually serrated part of it that I tea stained, and then I've used inks and just coloured it and stamped it all over, just to give it a little bit more variety, a bit more patination on there. I don't know if patination's a word, but it sounds quite good. It ought to be a word if it's not a word. Just trim that down and then pop this again on both sides, just to strengthen it all up. So when I come to actually sewing the signature in, it's got a bit of strength there. And trim off any excess. Oh yeah, there was a bit of a rip on the backing paper, so I just stuck a piece of the pattern stuff on it just to hold the rip together. Now this is a pocket I made ages ago for something else, and it's just been sat around. So I thought I quite like the bit of colour in there, so let's pop it in here. Just trimmed them down, retaped them, used my corrugated scissors, pink and shears, just give it a bit of design on the actual pocket itself. Just doing the 3 sides to actually stick it down to make it a double pocket. As you see, there's a pocket in the back and the actual pocket itself. Just trimming off a little bit off the actual pocket. So there you go, one at the back and then the front one. So we've got double pocket going on. And the other one, which is slightly bigger, I'm going to put on this page. No real rhyme or reason of why I'm doing what I'm doing, just sort of went for it really. I'm just using my circle punch to make a hole there. Again, just various papers, corrugated, acetate, greaseproof with my pattern paper on it, advert, envelope, coffee stain paper, back paper, then we've got the avocado paper. No, I lied, I'm putting another one. Oh yes, I forgot this bit. So that's a piece of colouring book. And this is a coffee stained or tea stained paper. I can't remember, envelope, sorry. Can't remember whether it was coffee or tea, but because I did a big batch by bought it at the same time. So I'm just popping on the colouring page. I quite like that design. I thought it would be nice in the art book as well. And I'm using washi tape now to attach the music paper on. I'll come round to actually doing the colouring in on that colouring page. That would be quite pretty. Not sure how I'm going to colour it in yet, but we'll get to that. And the envelope gives us a nice little bit of a pocket as well. But the actual window part hasn't got anything over it. So I've got to pop this on. Just give it a little bit more detail on there. If I want to draw something on it or paint something on there, I can do. Until I actually get around to the decorating, I really don't know. So I've chopped it down. That's what those scraps are, which will be used. So I do want to make my own paper. So I'm going to put those in a box and make my own paper. So there's the cover. And then we pop it all in. At the moment, obviously just sitting. That will be stitched in when I've made the second signature. I think two 10-page signatures would be enough in here. That'll give me 40 pages. That'll be quite good. So we've got the little pockets. We've got the music sheet there. Got our art page with a little pocket envelope at the back. And then we're going into the little material pocket, the half envelope pocket. That's just decoupage, or sorry, scrapbook paper. That's the other side of the greaseproof with small tea stained, and at the very back is onion paper actually, that last back sheet. I'd never heard of onion paper till recently. That pocket was a lot wider because I had to trim the book down. I had to cut the pocket in. So I cut it in quite a bit shorter and then just retaped it. So the other part of the pocket I'm going to do something else with. Thank you so much for watching. Have a lovely day. See